The founding researchers of attachment science once believed that attachment styles was formed very early in childhood and could never be changed. However, as more studies on attachment science begin to become available, there is increasing evidence that attachment style does not originate from a single source and it can be changed. This could be a message of both hope or caution. Hello everyone, my name is Tia and I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I make videos that offer tips on how to improve the relationship with yourself and with other people. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss more tips from a therapist. Today, we're talking about where attachment styles come from. A genetic association study by the University of Kansas and UC Davis discovered that a specific pattern of the dopamine receptor DRD2 allele is associated with anxious attachment, whereas a variant of the serotonin 5-HT1A receptor was linked to avoidant attachment style. Now, these two genes are known to play a role in many brain functions, including emotions, reward, attention, social behavior, and pair bonding. Now, I know that genetic predisposition sounds really scary, but don't be too discouraged. The researchers concluded that attachment insecurities are only partially explained by particular genes, and that there is a great deal of individual difference that is explained by social experience. Similar to genetic testing to see if somebody has a higher predisposition to a physical disorder, having a specific gene is not a guarantee that you will have that disorder. Environmental factors can either increase or decrease the likelihood of that gene expression. It's like how that saying goes that genes can load the gun, but environment and life experience could pull the trigger. Now, outside of specific genes, generational trauma within a family can negatively impact brain development to make a child more inclined to have an insecure attachment style. Generational trauma also influences the second source of attachment style, which includes how we are raised, especially from ages 0 to 5. This critical period is where infants establish their primary bond with their parents, which lays the foundation for all future social interactions, the child's capability of emotional regulation, and their overall mental health. Now, how we were raised doesn't just include our parents' style of parenting. It also includes parental well-being, as well as any stressors in the environment that could impact parental availability. Now, if you had parents that were sensitive to your well-being, available to support you, emotionally responsive, and they were able to repair any rifts that happened within the relationship, you have a much higher likelihood of developing a secure attachment style. This would include parents that are engaged, present, and attuned to you unconditionally. If you had parents that were inconsistently responsive, meaning sometimes they were and sometimes they weren't, you have a much higher likelihood of developing an anxious attachment style. One example of this could include parents that offered conditional love, where your needs and your well-being were only really invested in if you met a certain standard. But if you had parents that were distant, rigid, or unresponsive, you have a much higher likelihood of developing an avoidant attachment style. Now, one example of this could be a single parent that's just spread way too thin, and they're not able to be an engaged and present parent. So the child has to develop being hyper independent. On average, about 70 to 75% of adults that were studied consistently remained in the same attachment category at different points in their lives, while the remaining 25 to 30% of the studied population recorded a change in their attachment style, which leads to the third factor of attachment development, which is our life experience in relationships. Emotionally potent romantic relationships in adulthood are so powerful that they can actually revise our most basic beliefs and attitudes towards our lovability and felt safety and connectedness with others. On one hand, this is good news, as a healthy, secure romantic relationship can actually heal insecure attachment. On the other hand, this is a word of warning, because unhealthy or toxic relationships can actually damage our secure attachment or make an already insecure attachment style even worse. Now, other emotionally potent relationships with an inherent power dynamic, such as a coach or a teacher or a therapist or other impactful adult, can influence our attachment style to a lesser extent. meaning that having a great coach can be kind of a stabilizing factor if we live in a chaotic home, or having a great therapist can be a model of the secure attachment that you haven't had before. Now, if you're curious about what your attachment style is, check out my previous video, What is my attachment style, for an easy self-assessment. Did you find this video helpful? Which of the 3 sources of attachment style impacted you the most? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.